Yo, what is up, guys? Today, we had a small day. I'll pull up the trade execution after I go over kind of what I was looking at. But yeah, it was just a frustrating day, and I kind of want to talk about some things, some emotions that I want to kind of journal for myself and kind of keep track of and kind of reflect on. And one of them was just this week really has been kind of tough. Obviously, yesterday if anyone watched, we had the gamble day, which we actually, if you guys are keeping up with my accounts, we actually got our account into a perfect spot. So this account we made $127 today. So the balance is now up to 1,053, and if we check out the balance on the other account, it's 1,058. So I did exactly what I needed to do, which is bring this account pretty much equal. And then I will be trading this account for the next 7 days, 7 trading days. I have Thursday, Friday, and all of next week to trade this account normal. I'm going to trade normal, risking what I would normally risk, and see what I can do with this account to see if I want to continue the rebuild. If I do not stay above this balance at the end of 7 trading days, I will not keep the account, unless obviously it's only down like $50. But if I'm down more than if I'm not up around 900 or more, I will not keep the account. So I have 7 days to trade on a basically free account, right? So basically, I mean, obviously I paid for it, but I have 7 days of kind of risk-free trading. Again, I'm not going to do anything dumb because my intention is to keep both of these accounts, because it would be nice to pass both of them, but I haven't passed a single account yet anyways, so that's a little bit over ambitious. But this account will rebuild today at midnight, so I will have a whole fresh month of trading on this account. So there's no need to rush into trading this when I have 7 free days, if that makes sense, on this account here that I can trade. So excited for that, and excited that we get to keep this account as well. And we are now a third of the way to being funded. Again, we had kind of a gamble day, right? So we would be more or less break even on this account. We'd be only up about $300, which we would not be keeping. But the current situation, yada yada yada. Not going to bore you guys with that. But we locked out the account for the rest of the day because of our one trade. Didn't really like anything else after this low got taken. We didn't get any opportunities to go lower, besides around here, and I'll go over that. So, but yeah, one of the things I want to document though is kind of one of the emotions I was feeling. It's just a lot of frustration this week, because besides yesterday's gamble session, right, we haven't taken any really trades. Monday we didn't get anything, right? Monday we had price action was, let's see, the 28th. So what day was Monday? 28. So yesterday 27, 26. The 26th was here, I believe, right? We just had a big sell off. This was a beautiful day in terms of I think the 30-minute or the 1 hour. Yesterday, or that day was pretty similar to today, right? We had a tap of the 1 hour right here. We had a tap of the 1 hour. We respected and sold off to the draw on liquidity. And today we had a tap of the 1 hour, sold off to draw on liquidity. We also had the SMT. I believe that was the day we had an SMT. So let me check that out. Monday, yep, we had the SMT. So low-key carbon copies of today's price action and Monday's, right? And they just don't work well for me, right? We had a very similar day, right? Very, very, very similar day. And what was that? We had a accumulation zone, right? And then a aggressive move off open. Basically, we just chopped that fall down, right? We had a consolidation period phase, sell off, right? The only thing I didn't like today about, I wasn't too sold on shorts, and what I kind of want to go over is just, we had these highs here that I wanted to see NQ run first, and this equal high was just marked out as kind of like a target just in case. But I wasn't really like in love with just us sweeping out this high in the 1 hour and selling off, because one, we're in a higher time from consolidation. Two, we just had a lot of chop work. We had the AMD, right, manipulation, distribution. I didn't know if we were done distributing to the upside. I didn't know that if we were really wanting to go lower from here, right, because we swept out this low. We had bullish SMT. So we're kind of in spot and price where it's not really conducive for me, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it wasn't really, the top of my order to just be super heavy directional bias. And that's why I write down today, no high time fraud. No, man, No high time frame direction bias for me today. Looking for manipulation and internal structure for trades. I do like targeting yesterday's high or yesterday's low NQ, but we do have SMT at the high. Just kind of noted that out there, or I had that noted, right? So going into today, we did have this SMT, right, inside a bearish fair value gap. So if I just look at price very surface level today, it was pretty clear model, right? SMT, distribution or displacement, hold the fair value gap, dump, right? We had lower on ES, but because we were creating all this SMTs, right, NQ's down here, ES is up here, it's just lagging a little bit. We have a lot of consolidation in here. I just wasn't very confident, and I think part of that is valid, but then also part of it is just me being a little bit afraid of just the consolidation period and not really knowing exactly, or not seeing exactly what I want to see in price. So we end up holding this area very well, this 15-minute, right? We inverse this 1 minute, which would have been the highest you could possibly enter. I don't think this is a necessarily valid trade. I don't think it's the worst trade ever, but I personally am not going to take that trade. Again, I talk about it at 9:35. A lot of times you're going to get burnt for that, or in my experience. So I'm fine not taking this. It would have been pretty much a break-even trade more than likely anyways, because we run this low and then we come back up to the entry. So it probably would have stopped me out unless I was big balls today and held it with our stop above here and just let it play out, right? We had this draw on liquidity, which is a new day gap. We kind of stall in there. And this is where I was telling myself that this 5 minute now would give me bias for the day. This 5 minute fair value gap was the first higher time frame imbalance intraday that we created off market open, right? I wanted to see what would happen. If we run through this and get a strong close above, then I could expect high of day and run these highs, right? Because we had an SMT down here. And then if we displace lower, I can expect lower. So what happens, right? This is where I think I dropped the ball, being a little bit just too zoomed in and too just anticipating a reversal. I think I got caught up in the SMT here and just wanting to see higher because it's just easier to take longs mentally, I feel like, than shorts, especially when we had already ran this low. So I was like, you know what, we're probably not going to just sell straight through. And also, I had noticed that we were bouncing off of this 5 minute breaker block here, or 15-minute breaker block. And so the breaker, in my opinion, was this right here because we had a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. So this becomes the breaker, and also is a 5 minute unicorn. So if we extend that out, we had this breaker block right here. And then, so I'll pull up my execution of the trade I ended up taking right around here. So we're bouncing off the breaker block pretty nicely. ES at the time was just absolute chop work. ES at the time was, I believe, here, right? This is just crazy chop. So I should have been able to recognize the ES conditions and maybe not jump into any trades. But we saw at the bottom here, we saw a 15-second IFVG here after sweeping the low. Kind of nice reaction. This would have actually been a better trade than what I ended up taking, but this is kind of where I started framing my idea. So this would have been decent right here. We could have had a 15-point stop and let it play out to the high, 36 points, and left runners or not left runners, whatever. Maybe even put your stop there, so you're risking 13 points. And you could just let it hold here at this high. You can go break even if you wanted to wait till then, because if not, you'd probably get stopped at break even. But after this high, it's kind of cherry picked. It doesn't go to break even anymore. This would have been all right. I didn't end up taking that one or letting that trade play out. The trade I ended up taking was based on the same concept, the breaker block, the inverse, and then I inversed this 30-second here. I kind of got in a weird spot around one of these candles, and my intention was to target higher, but I knew that we could most likely sweep this high inside this 5 minute, also inside a 15-minute, and probably reverse. So I scaled most off and was going to leave two micros to try and target the actual draws up here and here. And that would have been still a good day, right? I would have been able to capture around 90 points and then 135 if my runners ran, right? So I was okay with just taking most off and kind of having a small day and getting my runners off and letting my runners do the work for me. But the reality was that it just, I'll go over the mistakes in this trade and why I don't really like the trade. Looking back, it was a little bit forced. But that's why I managed it the way I did, is because I think I realized that it probably wasn't going to do much more than go above here. So then we obviously got stopped at break even. But I convinced myself that if we could get a big run, we could get paid even on 2 micros. So I was risking about 16 points to end up partialing at 16. So it's basically a 1-to-1. Nothing amazing. I'll pull up the execution right now and kind of go over that real quick. So here we go. We had the trade, right? I'm not sure exactly how I enter this. Boom, I think we enter on one of these, closes on the 32nd. I think I thought it was going to close and I entered, so it gave me a worse entry, actually. I think I was anticipating this to close, so I got in. I should have got in there. See when I get in. I think I get on this candle for sure. I wanted to see it break structure, and that was a bad fill. So that right there is the first mistake in the trade. I anticipated the close. It didn't even close this high. I could have got a way better target. And I was so now I'm in the trade. I'm fully committed, risking more than what I should be risking on this trade. 26 or 260. I think I moved my stop to only risk like around 200 something. So not terrible. Not terrible in terms of the RR is bad, but in terms of how much I was actually losing, not really the worst. I was risking like 250, which is pretty standard, I think. And here I was kind of like, did not like this close. I got in when it was up here, didn't like the close, was like, you know what, I probably should just leave this trade behind. And then in the moment too, when these wicks were really scaring me, I was like, you know what, this is not looking good. I need one strong close, and I knew if we got one close, I was now risking 200. I was like, okay, if this thing closes good here, the next 9 seconds will be good. I'm almost moving. I'm trading only break even. I'm like, you know, I'm going to break even because this trade's not even good anyways. And at this point, if it doesn't take my first take profit and stops me, that's cool with me, because I just kind of realized my mistakes on this trade live time and was managing risk dynamically. So we take profit there. We lock in $69, which is, again, not really great, but I was expecting to leave my runners. I was then like, okay, where would I take another partial, because I didn't plan on taking 4 off yet. But then I was like, you know what, we're probably going to reverse here, so let me just take my 4th one off. I end up dragging the limit down, securing a little bit more, and then that was the trade. We get stopped at break even. So that trade there, kind of want to go over my thought process, right? We were in a market maker buy model on the low time frames, right? This was, in my opinion, pretty clean, pretty solid. We needed a retracement to continue going lower, especially with this chop. Where was my clear sign of reversal, which is always what I like to see in market maker models. My clear sign of reversal was this IFVG on the 15 second. So this is where I should have got in if I really wanted to take this trade. But this is where my eyes kind of were like, okay, keyed in on it. And then we get, we hold bullish on the smaller time frames. We hold the bullish PD arrays, right? We sweep and hit this internal fair value gap, right? Then we inverse this last thing holding us down before this high. So again, on the micro time frames, this is a market maker sell model or buy model, but I don't want to be concerning myself with these types of entries. We even finally reached this last area of take profit if we were in. So if we were in the 15 second, we could have managed this a lot better. We could have done something like this. We could have had more dynamic take profits. We could have, scaled, been a little bit more clean, right? We could have got in, right? Boom, we're chopping, boom. First take profit hits, boom, break even. Second take profit hits, still break even, comes down, we're at break even, starts trading up, hits this high, we trail our stop to here, boom, get out of the trade for 48 points on a runner at this high, and then let our last runner maybe continue to the high of day and maybe higher. So if we got him with 6, we could have taken off 2 here, maybe 1 here. Maybe you don't even scale here, but you go to break even there maybe, and then you scale, let's say, 3 off here, 1 off here, and leave 2, whatever the case may be. That would have been a better way to trade this model, and it was a valid market maker model in my opinion on the lower time frame. we had a liquidity sweep and a higher time frame PD array. This 5 minute, right, we swept out these lows. So we had this 5 minute fair value gap, which is also a unicorn at the time, a unicorn model, boom, and we get a 69-point reaction off of it, so it wasn't terrible. Again, that's just kind of all the positives from the trades. The things I could learn from is the things that I went over, which is the SMT on the higher time frame, the fact that we're displacing lower. This is just a retracement model, which is not the worst thing ever, but I'm not really the best at managing my emotions when I'm in a retracement model because you're going counter trend. And then I kind of blocked myself out from seeing the real trade, which is where I think, and what is this high is not supposed to be here. I think that made me miss out on what was actually going on in the market, which was we were holding 15-minute fair value gap. And again, I've talked about this 15-minute to 2-minute, right? Boom, what do we get in the 2-minute? We get an IFEG. We get displacement. We get a fair value gap tap. Boom. This could have been a better entry. Or this would have been an entry that would have smacked for you today. Boom. Fair value gap tap. Stop above the high or above this high, wherever you want it. This inverse holds, right? We retap this. This could be even a better fill, but whatever. First take profit this low, 45 points. That is a 1 to 6. And then you leave your runner to low of day, 100 points. This would, honestly, looking back, this is the trade I should take, and this is what I need to journal and kind of learn from and just note this trade. This was a nice trade, and kind of note where my emotions went wrong. That I always have to continue getting better. Obviously, like I'm not where I need to be. So what I can learn from this trade or this day today was this was a beautiful model. If I was anticipating it to be a beautiful model, right? I was caught up in live time. I was very caught up in this order block here with this fair value gap, right? And I was like seeing this reaction, and I was like, okay, cool. We're kind of bullish here. We had this reversal model. Maybe we're going to inverse the 5 minute, right? And like I said, this was what was going to give me bias and confluence. We never inversed it, right? And I probably was just getting caught up in expecting it to inverse rather than hold. I should have known with this impulse move down, this displacement, that we were going to go lower. And even worst case comes to worst, I don't trust the move. We retrace into the 1 minute, right? And then we get this green candle, red candle, green candle. Boom, this green candle can become an order block. And then now I can still get in with decent risk right here. Even if you want to be really crazy, you can go here, but I'd say you can give it some wiggle room. Boom, you get in the trade here, and you still basically get the same entry. And now you have more confirmation that you're going to go lower, and that still would be a great trade. So that's kind of what I wish I took today and wish I could have saw live better. But I think I was just offsides in the market. I was looking for the wrong direction, which is something I got to learn from, and I've got to figure out why I was. And again, I think it's just me refusing to kind of, read the market simple. I wanted to get sexy with this breaker block and the lower time frame reversal, and I wanted to try and catch the trade to here because whatever, I don't know. I think I just got too caught up in that. We have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. The market wasn't super effective anyways today, right? You can see with the ES, it wasn't super clean. So I kind of just think there's a lot I can learn from today with the market, and I was just wrong today. I didn't have the right bias. And I missed out on a better trade, right? This would have been super textbook, super clean, right? We have a 15-minute fair value gap, which gets filled, right? We were respecting bearish order flow. We're respecting 1 hour. Boom, we displace lower. What do? We get a 1 hour close here. We just disrespect all of these lows. We break structure to the downside. We even close below this low. We inverse this 1 hour. Bearish, right? We come back up, we reach into a discounted area, right? And I kind of want to go over this too. The standard deviation leg today was actually clean. This was the manipulation move on the 1 minute, right? What market opens here, this is the last down close candle. So we get a move up, the manipulation, the go higher to displace lower. What do? We hit the 2 to 2.5. So what can we expect? We can expect price to then consolidate and then push to equilibrium. What do we get? We get a retracement to equilibrium of this leg down, Boom, we reach equilibrium, a discounted PD array right here, which is also a unmitigated 1 minute fair value gap with an actual order block here, right? A nice solid 2 minute order block and a 1 minute order block. The 2 minute has an order block with a fair value gap and a 15 minute. We inverse the 2 minute and we then create this order block here that we push price lower. So where do we expect to go after holding 50%? We can expect to go to the 4 standard deviation, which lines up perfectly with the previous day low. So a lot of confluence today that I'm kind of frustrated with missing, and that's what I want to lead into at the last kind of part of this review and this session for me was the frustration I felt after missing this today. Not like crazy, but I did lock my account. Obviously, my objective of the day was taken. In my opinion, there's nothing left for me to do after this was taken. That was the target for the day, so I'm done for the day. I just didn't get the capitalize. I think I've just been kind of afraid recently to take trades because I've been in a weird spot with my account rebuilding. So now that I'm free of that, I think I'm in a better spot. But I think I'm just getting caught up in the wrong stuff, right? I'm getting caught up in, like, hindsight, I just explained it absolutely beautifully why the market moved, but live time, I wasn't making that connection like I should. Some days I do. The last few days, like some of the last days where we had beautiful sell models, I was perfectly on sides, didn't get to capitalize the best way sometimes, but found good trades, and then sometimes I did and just got out early. Previous days I've read the market good and been perfectly on sides with the market, but today I didn't read the market very well, and it's just disappointing. But that can lead to a lot of frustration, and I think it just was frustrating for me to just not see it clearly. I just wasn't reading price clearly today, obviously, because I missed out on this. This is just, I mean, when you stack up the confluences of the standard deviation lineup, pulling back to discount, pulling back to this order block, this bearish fair value gap, this 15-minute fair value gap, inversing 2 minute. Again, 15-minute to 2 minute is literally a setup I was telling people about is absolutely disgustingly good. And I just have moved away from just strictly trading that mechanically like I used to. But I don't know. I just felt like after this displacement, right, when we're here, I can't tell you, right, we're respecting this bullish fair value gap. I don't know. After we get this close here, I should have known, and I was hesitant about it, but I was like, you know what, I just don't want to take a position here. I was thinking about shorting this fair value gap, putting my stop above the high, but I just didn't want to lose, and I was just afraid of losing that trade after we got kind of chopped up in this, right? I was just kind of caught up and zoomed in on the low time frame market maker buy model. But after this displacement, after we held this, especially after we closed lower, I don't take many trades when we close below and invalidate an order block. So to me, this would have been more of a chase and kind of breaking rules, but that could have been a valid entry. I just didn't have conviction taking it, even though I saw it. I just was a little bit afraid, and I'm not really sure where that fear is entirely coming from, because now I'm sitting there looking at the market and being like, oh, I must know nothing. But I watched this trade play out live time and saw the confluences. I just didn't have the conviction to take the trade, and I think I'm just lacking a little bit of conviction lately. I don't think it has anything to do with the size I'm trading, because I'm just on a combine. I do not care about the amount that I'm risking. I think it's just I think I'm just trying so hard to get these nice moves, these nice trades to, I want to catch this, right? I want to catch a move that's this sexy, right? That this is this clean. And this would have been a very easy move to capitalize, because boom, you get in on this. If you get in here, right, you get a little bit of chop work, but you probably don't get stopped. Boom. If you get in here especially, you get a flush down. So first candle, okay, this candle comes in. Ooh, I don't like that. Boom. Okay, we're good here. Still nothing scary. Boom. Great close. Boom. Great next candle. Boom. Next great candle. Boom. First take profit. Locked in. Break even. Not scared. Nothing. We have displacement through. Next candle comes here. Next candle here. So we're not even close to here. We could even trailed our stop to here, which, again, not saying I should. And then we get close to the low. Right, this would be a little bit sketchy, but we never even really come back up that high and then sell through. So this would have been a full take profit day. And these are the type of days like last Friday that I just want to be able to get under my belt a few times to really build that confidence that I can find these types of moves. because it's been a long time since I've had a banger of a trade, and it just that can weigh on my decision making, kind of weigh on my confidence because genuinely, like, that does weigh on my confidence. It makes it harder to be super confident in what I'm doing because I don't, because I want to have a great day and I miss out on a lot of great days. So it's just like it's hard to have that conviction live time, especially even when I'm in a good trade. Like last Friday, I was in a great trade and I just cut it early, and that would have been a great day. And then today could have been a great day. And it's like these are just little decisions that get into certain trades that can really just change my trading. But because I don't get them, my mind's telling me, oh, I don't know anything. I can't find good trades. I can't find big winners. I can't find this. I can't do that. I can't do this or the other. And I just kind of want to start suppressing that negative emotion of, oh, I can't do this. I can't find these. I'm never going to get on these good trades. I never find great trades. I always get stopped out. So I just think I'm in a really negative, not super negative, but I think I'm getting a little bit nervous to just how few and far between my really good trades are, and it's just starting to weigh on my decision-making live time because I'm so afraid of this one not working rather than being like, okay, this is everything, checks my box. And so instead of it checking the model for me and executing, I'm just thinking about a lot of different stuff. And it's just like this trade here. Boom, I get in on this trade. I let it play out. I don't let it play, or it wins, it loses, whatever. If I let it play out, I have a great day. And that's the difference of having a great day and not having a great day. And the margins are just so small, right? So yeah, I mean, we can learn from today. It's nothing super negative. We come back the rest of the week. Hopefully we can find great trades. But I think just like psychologically, me not really finding a bunch of great trades recently has really just been weighing on me. But if I was consistently finding great trades like this and executing perfectly, then I would be profitable. And I am profitable in terms of I have the knowledge and skill set to be profitable. I just have to start executing better. So I can't get hard on myself. Well, pause. I can't get super strict on myself or really be too hard on myself. Pause again. But I can't really be too hard on myself and really blame myself and beat myself up for this stuff, because if I was executing at the level that I know I can, then I would be hitting the goals that I want to. And we're not right now, which is fine, but we'll get there. So it's just once I am and operating and executing at that high level, then we'll be exactly where we need to be with our trading, and everything will kind of fall into place. So today is a very positive day overall in terms of experience-based learning, building conviction, reading price action. Happy to show up today, happy to get better, but wish I would have read or been more confident and had more conviction in what I was seeing, rather than what I was trying to anticipate. I was trying to force my will in the market rather than observing the market and letting the market come to me and show me what I wanted to do. So I'm just a little bit frustrated, a little disappointed, because it just feels like I'm so close to being able to make these decisions and find these trades and get in on these nice days. But then I'm just that little bit of hesitation, that little bit of doubt, that little bit of wanting more confirmation, that little bit of just wanting to be super, super, super textbook, super perfect. That's just not realistic, and it kind of caused me to miss out on this. So appreciate everyone that watched these videos, and I will see you guys tomorrow to start the new account. We'll see kind of what we can do the rest of this week and next week. So hopefully we can have a start wrapping up some nice profits and start hitting these big days I'm talking about, and really start building more conviction in my trading. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.